Alrighty, folks, we are just about to get started here in this last match of the regular season for Peach Belt for Valorant. We are facing off against the University of North Georgia. And we just had a little bit of a snafu starting on not quite the right map, but we are getting that sorted and maybe waiting for one of theirs to join back in. Not quite sure what the issue is there. My name's Grant Lyon, the Director of Esports here at Center College, and I think we're in for a pretty good map. Pretty good match here to cap off the season. Let's see if I can't get our scoreboard visible here for you. Cool. Apologies that I am not joined by any of our student casters. It is spring break for us here, so it's a little short staff right now. So you are unfortunately stuck with just me. Looking at the picks here. Center is running a very similar comp to what they have the last couple weeks. Perhaps the one big change, Bill Clinton hovering over Vice instead of Chamber. That is the big difference between the last time they have played this map. Over on the side of North Georgia, BTSSB on to Jet. Demon is on Cypher. Kaiser on Breach. Drain Gang CEO, who has an ungodly amount of hours on this game. We checked right before it. On the Omen here. And finally, the Sova, that is Metastopia. Yeah, 593 levels. That's dedication, folks. We'll see if it pays off. All right, Center starting off on the defense here. That was our choice to do that as the team going second in the ban. So they selected Haven, we selected Side. Now the Colonels, we like Haven, so it probably would have been one of our picks as well. So happy to be able to pick the Side, kind of showing that we have a little bit more confidence on defense. Now it looks like our pals at North Georgia will be going into C site here. It's Jess Claro over on this site. He's able to break the dart. Camera sees a few of them there, but they probably have some sense of where he's at. Clippy able to put a dart out here. I miss Claro's cool shot here. It looks like he might have been blinded, but he gets an excellent headshot here, and things are looking pretty even actually in Center's favor. Now evened up, but good damage came out from Claro, and now Bill Clinton's gonna clean it up. That is a really nice opening pistol round here for Center College. Really good trades, really great positioning to kind of catch them out on their entry there. For the economy here, of course, that is what Center wants to see. Bill Clinton going to opt for, it looked like a Marshall, but actually going to be playing a Spectre. Claro gonna use a Bulldog here, it looks like. Look at that again. Yeah.
This should do. This goes here. Oh, this is a nice spot.
Bulldog. Looks like we might have one come see. The Sova does have the bomb with him. But most of them kind of hanging out in mid here. Might be kind of looking to go mid to C. Clippy might be the first to make contact in garage, but Clippy opting not to go to garage. There is a trip in that garage, so Center doesn't necessarily have to hold in there. Yeah, kind of all playing around there. We see one in grass. Bill Clinton gets a little bit hurt off of that. And Clippy able to clear out two in garage, nearly getting three. That's a third kill in the map here. Big Soup finishing one off with the Ares. And Claro able to find him in garage and get that last pick. Center only losing one, and Clippy, you know, he put his work in before, you know, checking out of this one with the 3K there. So this is still quite good for, you know, the center economy. They still have decent-ish guns from last round and plenty of extra credits, but North Georgia are going to have the opportunity to buy here, and it looks like they're opting for 5 beautiful Vandals. And probably looking to run down A site. Maybe playing a little bit more neutral, expecting center to kind of push out. And we're not doing that so far. Possibly Claro might opt to peek this. I think they know center's not pushing out. They're going to go ahead and start slowly walking down A, but center takes the bait, and some of them actually rotate off of A. It looks like they're starting to look in short here. This Jet is going to be able to get on site. Bill Clinton in a really tricky spot there. Center, looks like they're just going to wait for plant here.
Spike planted.
Clippy flashing in to try and stop it before it happens. Clippy using a ghost here, though. Not sure if he wasn't able to buy a gun or what. Whisper nearly getting a pick there. Some good damage, but not quite enough. Maybe about 50 health left on that Omen. That's fine. It kind of expected to lose just based off the guns, but very unfortunate for center to not be able to get even one pick there. Because that could have denied a little bit of this economic advantage. But now both teams able to full buy here. But Claro actually opting not to. Looks like he's running a Sheriff here. To A, to C. Still unclear where exactly they're gonna go first. Looks like they're starting to back out of A. Omen, of course, has the spike. They're just kind of walking around in their spawn. This Sova has pushed up quite a lot, but not really taken so much space. And they opt to leave yet again. These are kind of some crazy rotations, but center doesn't necessarily have tons of utility to slow them down. But hopefully some of this Vice util can do just that. But unfortunately, they get on site without too much issue. None of center is there yet, so they're just going to wait for the plant.
Spike planted.
Whisper's going to be able to take this spot in the high ground. I don't know if they know that it's not smoked off. Clippy from this ult out. Very unfortunate here. But still totally doable. So low health on this Jet. Claro just reloading real quick. Oh, doesn't quite get the flick. Trying to peek kind of around that box there, but not really realizing the Jet had already started moving. It was a very doable round for center. Pretty unfortunate there. Not exactly sure what center can be doing on this A site with Bill Clinton, where he's when they eventually start to push on North Georgia. Bill Clinton has died. I think twice now, before the rest of the team can kind of start supporting him. It looks like they're gonna go A again. But Clippy on that Yoru, here to potentially support. He's just got a Sheriff though. These are not the best guns in the world. Blind comes out. It's Bill Clinton down again. This is center save round, so it's not the end of the world. A couple missed shots with the Bucky, but one hits, and that's all you really need. Nice to get at least that one pick there on their save, but they really need to make something happen this round to get that momentum back.
Last placed. Now we wait.
All right, looks like they're going C-site now. That's North Georgia. Again, on the offense. Bill Clinton, I don't think he gets hit by the dart. But has to hide around a corner. Oh, and that breach ult comes out. As well as some utility. Clippy is here to maybe make this more favorable for center. Oh, but it doesn't happen.
Spike down. C.
Claro hiding out in this smoke here.
One day.
It's a beautiful shot when he comes back. Potentially a second one, but it just doesn't quite happen. That's a three-piece for Kaiser from North Georgia.
Time to jump.
All right, Clippy and Claro now holding down A, and that is where they're going to go. So Bill Clinton and Claro have swapped around a little bit. Clippy getting stunned out, but is going to have Flash here. It's an option to kind of peek him with this Guardian, but just doesn't quite hit those shots and can't stick around for very long. A Sova ult comes out. Might have tagged Big Soup. I'm not actually sure where that damage came from. Fortunately, Clippy dying to one, holding out on B site. With that ultimate down, they know where each one on center is. Ooh, unfortunate to not get those shots through that smoke. Those looked pretty good. Break the dart, but it means they know that they're here. Huge shot from Claro, but goes for the reload and gets punished for it.
Last player standing.
Stun comes in here, and the fire rate gets a lot worse on the Ares there for Big Soup. That's a three-piece from Metastopia on University of North Georgia. Center not looking so hot here. They've only won those first two on the pistol rounds. A little bit of a time out here. Just see what we can't clean up. See what kind of adjustments may be made from this. All lined up here for another A push. It's Claro and Clippy. Be holding down this site. Clippy is here in short. It looks like the drone's going to be able to see him from the Sova. which means he's got to back out. He actually opts to use the TP there to ensure his get out. Recon Bolt sees Whisper as well. There's a whole lot of them still here, but they haven't made too much progress in terms of space. They're holding out for a flank that doesn't exist from center. Excuse me. Might be trying to bait center into a rotate here. Big Soup actually does start to do that. But they're still here just making no noise in A long.
Cage triggered. Cage
Flash
triggered.
comes in. It's probably their opportunity to make something happen. And it really needs to get a pick on this Jet as she's the one who's made that entry. The trickiest spot for center, and she's still alive. Big Soup finally takes her out. It's a 3v3, but he gets taken out. Center is now down this tricky choke point here.
Spike planted.
Whisper might have dash to go in, but he falls. It's just Bill Clinton left. And there's really not a whole lot of places you can retake from there. With center not going around flank, Heaven not really being such an option. They're kind of getting taken down one by one, which is quite unfortunate. Looks like center's going to save here. We actually see a timeout come out from North Georgia. Momentum still firmly in their behavior. Center's economy in shambles, but by all means, you know. Not quite sure what site they'll be pushing on this time. You know, post that little bit of pause there. Potentially on to B site, walking up in grass here. Clippy gets taken out first. Looks like they're going to be going on to C site. I mean, center is just running classics here. So they'd really just like to get any picks at all. This is certainly not an expected win for the Colonels here.
Flash trap destroyed.
They start to rotate here. So there's one on B now. It looks like they're actually rotating all the way around to A. I mean, this team rotates just so much, so often. I wonder if maybe some more flank plays could be useful from center to start leveraging a little bit of that space. That naturally gets made from them, from the kind of wishy-washiness of some of these UNG plays. Looks like Whisper is looking to peek aggressively here on A. They aren't here, though, unfortunately. Big Soup is probably going to have the most complicated time here. Instantly gives up sight. It's all him by his lonesome.
Spike planted.
Claro spamming a little bit of damage down here. He's got two places to try and peek from. Omen drops down.
Last player standing.
It's just Claro left. Gets 2 great shots, but I really don't know what the solution is here. Thanks to that really big save, just buying classics before. Center still has full buy here, at least almost. We'll see if they can do anything different. NG looking to go fully onto A. Whisper holding an aggressive angle here. Doesn't quite find anything. The stun comes out. Dart reveals his location. And they're just forced off site. And unfortunately, Clippy dies. Whisper has fallen as well. You know, it's one thing to give up sight, but it's another thing to have to give up sight and be getting picked. Big Soup, thankfully able to get a pick here. Almost could have died if he didn't have that overheal to that dart there. I wonder how much of this is just the mechanical difference here. When UNG, you know, flicks around a corner, they're finding ahead more often than center is in these engagements. But surely there's some more effective positioning or tempo that center could be leveraging to force some more favorable fights here. Whisper once again looking to take more of an aggressive play. Center wants to have a round where they get the first pick for once.
Get out of my way.
And Whisper is a good one to make it happen. It just doesn't quite come through. I mean, they look like clean shots, but they've got to land on a couple of pistols or a couple of pixels where the head is. And don't.
Right here. Thorns activated.
Big Soup gets some good damage here, but now once again they've fallen on site and they don't have the people they need for a very good retake. Clippy with a really excellent shot here. This could start and even things up, but unfortunately Kaiser has an excellent angle there. Some great reaction time. Claro, beautiful headshot here. Gonna go ahead and use his ultimate. Of course, this is the last round and a half, so it doesn't matter to potentially waste that if it is a loss. Gets a great shot, gets another great shot. Oh, and reloads around the corner. Of course, he had 5 health anyways, so it might not have been possible, but that is a 3-piece for Claro.
Switching sides.
Just doesn't quite convert into a win. With the sides switching, center now on the attack with quite an uphill battle ahead of them. I mean, that is 10 round wins in a row for the University of North Georgia. Center's going to have to do a lot of winning. But there's a game of momentum. They could start off well here and just kind of snowball. Stun comes out and gets Whisper in a really awkward spot.
Decoy.
Clippy sends his decoy down A. Center looking indecisive here. Seems like they're starting to move over to potentially garage here. Sova is up here in garage. This trip here as well. Clippy not going to clear the right corner. Does find a spot for the rest of center, but with 2 falling in that engagement, it is not a trade that you want to see. Center has cleared sight. They successfully get the plant down. Big Soup in a really bad spot. Claire in a really bad spot. They just don't have an answer for how powerful some of these stuns have been. Just these concussions from Kaiser I think that's the most effective part of what North Georgia is doing here. They just seem to always know where center is, be able to get that stun through the walls. Center having to make some tough calls, you know, kind of planning for their economy here. If they lose this round, they're, you know, guaranteed to, North Georgia is guaranteed to be taking this into, you know, match point here. Overtime is the best the Colonels could hope for in that scenario, but they don't have the funds to truly force buy something good. But I think the call ought to be to just buy here to make sure they still have that 2-round buffer between them and defeat here, but not where you want to be. We'll see some force buys come out for some stingers. Slightly better guns available here for University of North Georgia. You know, a bulldog, an outlaw, etc. But you know, we got a couple of bumblebees. You know, North Georgia has disturbed our hive. They are ready for Clippy to come in here. Shock dart comes through, but doesn't quite get them. Oh, Clippy, no! Just gets seen as he starts to peek that with his util out. Actually, Whisper dying as well. I'm not even sure where he was. Maybe somewhere in grass. No center flash in garage here. No one follows up on it, but Claro dies as well on the flank. Bill Clinton able to pick up a bulldog, but it's not going to be enough. That's a 3-piece for Kaiser. Demon finishing off Big Soup. Now forcing this match point, you know, scenario. The best center can hope for again is overtime, and that's if they win a lot of rounds in a row. We see a timeout come out here from North Georgia. If I was them, my plan would be to buy the guns we can afford and punish center for the guns they can't afford. So I'm not exactly sure what the timeout is to discuss. But perhaps we'll find out. Of course, it gives center an opportunity to talk as well. But they are not in a good spot here. Able to force buy a couple of rifles, these Guardians, giving them that, you know, instant head tap potential to maybe really, you know, do some playmaking here, but you know, Clippy with a pistol. Not an ideal scenario by any means. Maybe opting to peek this jet on A site. Whisper finds her. He flashed out, gets hit by the trip. They had 2 holding down on this site. Now 2 of center have fallen. Claro able to get a pick. It's really huge. Oh, but 13 health. He's got to take out 3 with just this 13 health. Give center even a chance. He's got Three-piece now here.
One enemy
And actually takes out this jet up here. 20 bullets left, 13 health. He's going to go ahead and use his ult. He sees that the Omen is there on the right. He does not have the spike.
Cage triggered. I have retrieved the spike.
Oh, and gets shot through the cage. Perhaps a natural thing to expect here, knowing that he was such low health. Really no downside to shooting through that. But Claro almost making that work there on that last round. Scoreboard not looking incredible for the Colonels. But, Claro leading the scoreboard actually with 20 kills here. Certainly plenty of rounds that looked, decent enough for center. And we'll see if we can adjust anything going into the next one. Alrighty, folks. We are back. We are now on this is Center's map pick. And one we performed quite well on last week. Now, of course, when we were playing it last week, we were not going up against some of these scary initiators, Tejo and Breach, etc., that we could see come out again here from University of North Georgia here. Looking to run pretty similar stuff here. Whisper swapping over from the Jet over to the Raze. Maybe not finding that super impactful in that last round. We'll see everyone locking in here. We've got a KJ, a Sova, a Clove, a Jet, and a Breach for North Georgia here. So still on this double initiator comp. Center on there. I hate initiators. I won't play one comp. But still able to get a lot of that initiator utility from the flashes from the Vice, the flashes from the Yoru. And tons of sight control with 2 Sentinels. All right, Center starting out on the offense this go around.
I have the spike.
Big Soup taking a little bit of damage early, but Claro with the first pick here. Top frag in the last game. Makes a lot of sense. Clippy with a great shot. They don't necessarily know about this Sova here. Could cause them some problems, but they're up and they're trying to play numbers. Clear it, Big Soup. Come on. No. This is going to be a huge problem.
Spike down A.
And as they start to come out up top, this could be a huge problem for Center here. One in
enemy
tree,
remaining.
one still behind them, one potentially up top. Oh, they get the picks. They get the picks, and it's just the Sova left. Center super low on health here. Could die to a shock dart, but they just kind of need to slow him down here, and eventually Whisper takes it out. What an interesting round. An interesting round. Center's just been generally pretty good, even in some of these games that have been uphill battles in some of these pistol rounds. Maybe we should just run Ghost always. All right, Center playing a little split here. Maybe trying to go through mid, maybe trying to bait out a little util early. Arrow almost taking out that Clove. Oh! Some really unfortunate timing here for Center here.
Last player
And they're
standing.
just keep peeking these corners. Without their gun out, without expecting anyone from North Georgia to be there. Admittedly in some weird spots, but just kind of not prepared for some of these engagements. Great shot from Whisper here. Some low health from the folks in North Georgia. This smoke coming out could be really useful for Whisper. Gives him an opportunity to cross. He's got 45 seconds. They don't necessarily know where he's gone. There's a few places he could be. And Whisper's actually going all the way
30
around and
seconds left.
actually should be able to get this KJ.
One enemy remaining.
That's massive. Oh, but he's not looking in the right spot. He's not clearing it.
Thrifty.
And I feel that's that's just the story of that round is center not clearing things. But an excellent 2 rounds for Whisper. He's got 5 right now. It's top of the leaderboard. Notably, that's 5 more than he had, I think, in the entire first map. Center starting to push up on the rafters here in mid. No one here from North Georgia to contest it yet. Whisper trying to bait someone out by touching that ultimate orb. Clippy maybe saw something mid. Center being patient, but going to go into tree soon, most likely. And the collateral is very tricky for center here. Just kind of standing behind one another for this push. And that's gotta be it. That's a 4-piece for Kaiser, or Kaiser from North Georgia here. They are now up 2-1. We have a tech pause here, some sort of issue for North Georgia, so we'll be back in just a moment once they get that sorted. Still waiting for that mouse connection. A lot of time to kind of walk around and get acquainted with the map. Still on this tech pause here. Looks like we are back in action, folks. Sova is probably going to get a dart, and it's going to be able to see most of center in here. He actually does a shock dart instead. Whisper throwing nade. There's no one actually there where he's clearing, but still good to know that that's not where they're at.
Spike carriers down.
Ooh, unfortunately, Bill Clinton and Claro falling. Looks like they might have been going for a little bit of a flank. There are some still here on site.
Refreshing.
Big Soup able to trade here. Get a little bit of an overheal. And an excellent shot onto this jet. Big Soup is making this a lot more possible. Center just sort of holding here, but this isn't necessarily great because Clippy doesn't know about this Clove from UNG that is going to be able to see him from behind. And now it is just Big Soup left. That's a 3-piece for Big Soup. There's 2 left. And they're going to try and hold, a little bit of a crossfire here. This turret is almost certainly going to be able to see him as he walks through here. Really not a whole lot you can do there. Ooh, a very proactive Sova ult comes out here and takes out Claro before the round can really even get started. Thankfully, Clippy able to even things up a little bit, but Whisper has taken some damage too. Clippy with the ultimate here, starting to clear through sight. Looks like he's going to go ahead and take up Heaven. Center's still a little afraid to push in for some reason. And they finally are up in Heaven. Center playing much too slow there. They could have had sight clear, but instead hesitated. Gave UNG time to push in tree, push in Heaven. Now it's just Clippy. This Guardian here.
The dimensional fabric here is thin. I'll tear through.
See a timeout come out from center. It's this opportunity to figure out what they can be doing differently. At the scoreboard here, Clippy and Whisper, the top of the leaderboard for center with 5, but Kaiser over at UNG with 8 elims here. With the econ, looks like he's going to force buy here. Oh, unfortunate shot onto Whisper there. Clippy might be able to clear tree here. Some stuns come out, gonna make it difficult for center to kind of come together
Spike
here.
down mid.
Just whenever there's a spot for shots to come out, center is just not winning them. But Clippy proving me wrong as I speak, proving me right, right at the end there as the util comes out. It's just Claro left. Two beautiful headshots and a ton of damage onto this Clove here. But Claro only has 27 health. It's him against two folks. He doesn't have the spike. It's a tricky spot to be. And they're just kind of spamming damage down here. Throws the camera out. Doesn't actually see anything. A really good attempt there. Now a timeout coming out from UNG. I once again wonder what exactly they need to discuss with things going so well, but perhaps it's these moments of extra communication that are helping them achieve. Center with some kind of weird buys here. We'll see if they do end up all going with Vandals or not. But not enough money for a full buy here. They won't be able to have, shields and a Vandal.
Time to jump.
Clippy playing split from the team here. Maybe going to make some additional noise. Maybe actually kind of a good thing to be seen by that. And actually TP's out, and they are all here on A. Still two here on A. That extra noise did not really prompt much of a rotate here. If anything, it's the opposite. They haven't cleared this box. Are able to do it right at the end there, so center is even. Clippy starts to get spiked down, and opts not to, and is now almost finishing that off, but doesn't quite happen with the breach ult coming out. Things are looking grim for the Colonels here. Really excellent ult there for Kaiser from North Georgia. And a decent plan from center to try something a little different, but this isn't a team that is taking engagements that they don't have to. They did not quite fall for the bait of center, faking a B push there. Whisper slowly walking up onto A, might be able to get something. Oh, so unfortunate. It seemed like Whisper had the timing there to be able to take out that Clove. But they just got an incredible flick there. Once again, it's the story of so many of these rounds. Center having to play it, man down.
Here.
There's not much they're able to do to force that opening pick, but thankfully Bill Clinton starts to even some things up. Cypher ult comes out
30 seconds
from Claro. Clippy gets flashed. Can't quite take out Kaiser. Big Soup able to finish that off, but he's the only one left now. And it looks like Defenders winning once again here. Clippy aggressively out into mid. On clone in. And it just doesn't go center's way pretty much every time here. And without that, you know, they've only got Vice for flashes. A lot of the util that North Georgia has available, you know, hasn't come out yet, which means they have this all this breach util to slow center down, to stop them when they do get on. It's really hard for center to get the pick they need here. Another smoke comes out. And they're just going to have to wait it out. They don't have the flank from Clippy to apply any pressure. See an ultimate come out from the Jet. Center with two great picks. It's now a 2-3. Looks like they are both up top. Smoke buying center a little bit of time. Big Soup's going to go ahead and play off-site. Drone comes out. Whisper able to take it down. Ooh, Big Soup getting taken out first, though.
One enemy remaining.
And now it's just Claro left. He essentially has to get the kills there. Big Soup dying first was a real issue for center. Eight to 1. Center's doing okay in terms of, you know, getting picks once these fights start. But they want to have some more success earlier on in these rounds. And North Georgia just very consistently hitting the shots that they need to hit. Center doing something very similar here. Clippy pushing his clone into B site. Holding out into mid. Seems to have a decent flick over to that clove, but it just doesn't happen. And they are ready here for center on A. Thankfully, Whisper able to get onto site. Make a little bit of space for the rest of the kernels, but even with this nice pick here, it's that's actually evened up. Big Soup joining him here. It's now a 3-3. Door is still open in tree. And actually kind of goes to center's advantage here as they're able to clear tree. But low health bars here with the exception of Big Soup. And now a 2-2. Bill Clinton swinging up top, but it's a 4-piece for the Sova. That looked like the best round center it had in quite some time. And just some incredible shots here from Metastopia. Center's got 2 more rounds here on the offense. Center buying some Stingers and some Spectres. Looks like they're going on to B site here. Now Center playing some real mind games here. Clippy's actually with the team, but he's trying to bait them into thinking he's not, using some of the same utility he had on those rounds where he was playing solo. Recon bolt, though, could be pretty devastating for Center, giving a lot of intel to North Georgia here. And now a fight occurring in mid, and just when it comes down to it, Center is not winning those gun duels. Claro in a bad spot with these, KJ mollies. And now just 2 left. It's just Bill Clinton and Big Soup. Sort of pushed out here. Bill Clinton actually able to get a pick. But he is surrounded. He's got Spike. But with flashes coming out, I mean, really, really tricky. Drain Gang CEO with a 3-piece here for North Georgia. This is the last round in the half. Center would really like to just get that 1 extra point, so it's not automatically putting them in that match point scenario, off of a pistol round loss.
Who's next?
Clippy pretty much cleared up here. It's just this Jet left up top, but he's not quite in a spot to be able to take her out. Bill Clinton able to get ult off here. I'm not sure how many people are affected by it or not. Clippy holding up top. Drops down to heaven. And with this KJ util coming out, this could be horrible for Center here. Bill Clinton with 2 great shots. But it looks like a couple are going to be detained. All 3 detained. And they know it. It tells them when this many people are detained. So Whisper finally getting undetained, but they're just able to get the defuse off.
Switching sides.
Now with side switched, Center needs to have a really big win streak here to turn this around. We're seeing a timeout come out from North Georgia. Planning out what they want to do on the offense here. Looks like they are going B with 1, lone agent here, Jet, over on A site. Center with 3 stacked on A right now, but Whisper might be looking to peek mid. And Bill Clinton on his lonesome, the former president, holding down B site. Looks like they're actually going mostly mid. Clippy in a really tricky spot here. I need to flash just to try and get out. Gets a ton of damage here, but really not a whole lot you can do into just that many people. Bill Clinton with some excellent shots here, but he's on 48 health. And in a tricky spot, going to get shot from behind. These flashes have just been so tricky for center.
Spike planted. Last player standing.
It's just Big Soup left.
Refreshing.
Gets the overheal. And some great shots onto Kaiser. 2 more targets to take down. And not too much time to do it. Oh, good shots onto the Jet. That's a BT SSB with a 3-piece. This is now a match point situation for Center College. And they're doing it with not the best econ in the world. Definitely going to be force buying here. Just affording whatever they possibly can, which looks like it's going to be 2 Stingers and Ares, a Classic with some full shields, and a Sheriff. But having to play this into an Outlaw, some Guardians, a Bulldog. This really could spell disaster for the Colonels here. Looks like a peek out into mid. Whisper would be the one to see it here. But Guardian versus Sheriff, my money is not on the Sheriff. And now just going to a proper. Claro has a ton of utility here to kind of hold this down.
Got you.
He sees the Jet. Certainly suspects that the rest of them are here. And center is actually going to have some time to be able to rotate around and be here for this.
Caught one.
Unfortunate, but gets some good damage. Whisper at 2 health. Bill Clinton gets a shot off with the Stinger. Big Soup left in tree.
Spike planted.
Just Big Soup and Clippy
Last
left.
player standing.
Gets a little bit of damage tagged onto the Jet. It's a Sheriff in a dream. Despite these low health bars for North Georgia, this is going to be really tricky. They've got a little bit of this funky setup here where Clippy is probably not going to be expecting what this Sova is holding. Pops up like a whack-a-mole, and that is going to be it. GG's to North Georgia. Those are really well played from them. Yeah, that'll go ahead and end off the regular season here for the Valorant team. But depending on how some other games shape up, we are likely to have secured a spot in playoffs. And that'll come around on Saturday of next week. So just 6 days away. If that does end up occurring, I hope you'll join us for that. Thank you so much for watching, and take care, folks.